Pick a card, Healing After Being Ghosted. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you at your reading. Hi friends, my name is Priscilla with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do another reading for you. This time we're going to be reading about healing after being ghosted. I will be pulling 3 cards, and that will be your options as far as the whole topic goes. We're going to be exploring as well an energy check initially to make sure that you got the right reading. And then we are going to be looking at the wound that was left behind, okay? It's important to get a little bit of information off of that. So the wound that was left behind after this ghosting, or it could be even be a situation that has left. And how can we heal this? And then we're going to look into how you handled your healing or how you hindered it, okay? So how are you currently hindering your healing would be a better way of saying it. That's good to know because then we know what to avoid or what to stop doing, essentially. And last but not least, we're going to look at how will healing this shape your future, okay? I found that to be a little bit fascinating. So this is the intro part. It's going to be the intro and selection portion of the reading, as per usual. I'm going to get a little bit of sagey sage going here. And we are going to pull our piles. If you want to skip the intro, I will, as per usual, leave an image for you to select from. For those of you new to my channel, welcome, welcome. I appreciate you stopping in. And for those of you that are repeat offenders, thank you so much for your time and your support. Here we go. Healing after being ghosted. I'd like 3 piles, please. Healing after being ghosted. Let's get pile number 1. That'd be that one. Resurrection. Reprise, recovery, and comeback. Let's look at pile number 2. Death rites. It's funny because this came out in the pre-shuffle. Saying goodbye, formal occasion, honoring lives with the number 11. And that is the number 44 for the number 1. And last but not least, pile number 3 for healing after being ghosted. Oh, wow. Are we going to do 4 piles? No. This one, nightmare. Sounds appropriate. Psychic protection, shield, and bad dreams. So we're going to go with that. I'll leave pictures, and I will see you at your reading. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to my channel if you missed the intro. Pile number 1, you chose resurrection. Now, I wanted to get a little bit more on this, but I started reading the little booklet, and I really feel like it would behoove you to take a moment to listen here. So I'm going to go ahead and read this to you. Like the 9 live vampire kitties in this beautiful image, you too have more than one chance, more than one life. You have before you at this moment not just a second chance. You have a true new start in front of you. You have a chance to take over your life and rise from what you thought was a stagnant place and have adventures. Recreation. We vampire knows all too well what it's like to rise from death, to transform from one kind of being to quite another, the same and yet so changed. You have almost given up on yourself. almost lost touch with your enthusiasm for life. You've thought sometimes maybe this is it, and you found some kind of comfort in what you call acceptance. But we're here to show you that in front of you, right at your feet, right at this very moment, is a chance that you've secretly dreamed about for so long. You have a chance to completely change your life. So that was just a portion of it, which I thought was really profound. And I'm going to do an energy check for you. Pile number 1, healing after being ghosted. Energy check for pile number 1. And this, I thought, with the resurrection, I mean, something had to die, something had to completely go away. And I really quite agree. It's almost like you have given up, or maybe you have given up. And yet there's a resurrection here. And I can't help but notice there's almost like an 8 on the back of her knees. And all these little vampire kitties. It's like we have 9 lives, right? And I think whatever this resurrection is going to be better. And, when you picture vampires being born, the idea is that they live forever, right? And I just saw 222, so that could be pertinent. You could be seeing 222 in your surroundings or as signs to you. But I'm going to say that you thought that this was over and done with. With this resurrection, I'm feeling like this is going to be something that if it doesn't come back with the same person, it's going to be a situation where it is way more withstanding. I feel more longevity, more resiliency, and definitely more positivity, because I think that there is, I'm feeling like a deep dive basically within you. You've had to, look at that helicopter. We can't see it, but you can hear it. With that, I feel like, anything that's been buried for so long, even, it's so distracting, I'm sorry. Even trees that are planted, as babies, and then they eventually grow to be beautiful and thriving and have many roots, it takes a long time. And it takes a lot of different factors, and it takes a lot of different seasons, and it takes the necessity of the wind blowing to shake that tree to be able to develop roots. And it takes all kinds of little critters to come and, rustle at the leaves and throw down some more things so that that tree can repopulate as well and maybe grow elsewhere. So I think in many ways you may have been fractured into many different pieces. And I feel like this is a time that, when we say get it together, I feel like it's coming together for you. Healing after being ghosted. What's the energy check for pile number 1, please? Pile number 1, what's your energy? What's the energy check? What transpired in your situation? Quick synopsis, please. The 7 of Wands. Somebody was defensive and somebody could be blocked off or feel blocked off. You could feel like somebody's keeping you at arm's length, and yet there's a lot of ghosts. It's almost like this person or situation is still felt. Now, the reason why I say situation is because this could even have been like a job that dropped off of your menu. That sounded weird. But off the face of the earth, something that just wasn't for you, that got taken away or that you left, whatever the case may be. Even the canopy that's being made is obscuring the sky above. And so I feel like you could be going through or have gone through like a dark night of the soul when you experience this loss. And I mean, that's why we're here, right? Loss is loss. So what else do we have? Somebody could have been going behind your back. That's a 7 of Wands is, kind of super stealth. But right here, the Queen of Pentacles. I feel like you, whether male, female, doesn't make a difference. I read energy, not sex. You are rising to the occasion. You indeed have risen to the occasion. And I feel like this, even the position that it's in, it has forced you to really climb this ladder, to climb even above the canopy of the trees, to be able to see the light of day, to be able to, kind of resurrect yourself in many, many ways, and to enjoy the sunlight. So I feel like you've had to work hard, but also this has made you very pragmatic. It's placed you in a position where perhaps where there were fantasies and fears and things that you can see clearly, you only invest in things that are a sure thing right now. I mean, nothing is totally sure 100%, but you look at life and relationships sort of like stocks and bonds. Is this viable? Is there an upcoming market? Is there other indicators that, would tell me that this would be on the rise, that kind of a thing. I love that. So I feel like that wasn't like that before. Tell me more about this energy check, your situation for pile 1. Energy check, what happened? Yeah. So this is the Six of Swords. This is moving on from a situation. And that's what the whole reading is about. And the way that you moved on is becoming more pragmatic, investing in things that invested in you, no longer giving time, energy, and attention to things that maybe caused fear in you and also stirred up a lot of emotion. So people that made you feel tumultuous emotionally, unstable emotionally, and nobody can make you feel anything. So maybe I need to phrase it different. But essentially, if you're around you were around people that you couldn't understand or see the light of day or see even the sky. Like there was not a lot of optimism there. And maybe there was an oppressive feeling, a feeling of I'll let you know what you need to know and no more, that kind of a thing. Then you are done with that. You are moving on. You have moved on from this situation. And then this had to do with like setting up a home or a solid foundation with people. So not just your own. I feel like this could have been somebody you moved in with, you lived with, or somehow this is part of your foundation. This could be work foundation or home foundation. But this is the area that is being alluded to. Okay, 3 of Cups. So this could have been someone who was given over to vices, who really was here for a good time, not a long time. And yeah, so this is my drink, eat, be merry. Let's enjoy because tomorrow brings tomorrow. We're not worried about that, right? And this could even be a third-party situation where even in the dark, everything was like celebrated in obscurity. So I think that you moved on from that, or that moved on from you. And that was your energy check. If that sounds familiar or pertinent to your situation, then this is your pile. If not, then you want to go ahead and take a peek at the other ones that are available. So what else do we have going on here? We're going to look at what was left behind. What wound was left behind? The wound that was left behind, please. Pile number 1. What wound was left behind? And one more. Okay, so you had become the queen or king of defensiveness. You look at everything as far as longevity goes, okay? You look at things like, how's this going to benefit my emotional happiness? How is this like pro or con? Almost a little bit like too logically starting to make assessments. And this is somebody who frankly has been beat up from the street up, okay? This is somebody who has been through the ringer emotionally. It could be even physically, but they're not taking any chances. And I feel like that's your energy. Now, we have this, as you saw, fly out of the deck. It is the 10 of Cups. The one that got left behind is emotional fulfillment was spilled. This is about happy wife, happy life. This is about my emotions being on point. This is emotional gratification. This could be essentially reflecting a family, and it goes back and forth. It's like I'm emotionally fulfilled. I'm not. I am. I'm not. And it could be somebody who juggled you or yo-yoed you into that sort of feeling. So the one that was left behind is sometimes that I feel like you're very defensive right now because of what transpired. And then you're like, okay, this is possible. No, it's totally like not possible to ever happen. Remember when you thought it was possible and things blew up in your face. So that emotional satisfaction thing. Yeah, the one that's left behind. Check this out, guys. Pile number 1. Check this out. She lovely. Isn't she lovely? Okay. So the one that got left behind, it's hard to see this as a wound, but the Queen of Swords is somebody who has had a rough life. This is somebody who had to use their intellect to get out of situations, to cut off everything that was not of use to them. But especially is used to cut off any bad behavior or any toxic and nonsense, okay? Any superfluous floof, whatever the case may be. Now, I'm going to say also that the wound that is left behind is that I feel like you have a lot of eyes on you. These appear eyes to me. And then we have that repeated right here, eyes right here. But they're all hidden in the dark. And it seems like these people don't want to come forward and say necessarily like, oh, I'm watching pile number one. Well, I mean, who in their right mind would say that? Nobody's going to be really upfront and honest, but they are watching you. So you have a lot of people watching you as well. But the wound there essentially is that not only are you defensive, you're quick to cut a beat if they come at you sideways. And that's a real thing. Okay, so how can we heal this? I want to utilize these cards. How can we heal this, please? The wound that is left behind. And I'm trying to make these readings not as long. The Six of Cups. Go back to that innocence, that trusting nature. And part of it, just to be 100% real, is trusting in yourself. Trust that you have the ability to cut out whatever doesn't make sense, what doesn't add up. If the math is not mathing, trust that you have enough wherewithal, enough wisdom, enough skill to be able to get rid of that toxicity immediately. What else? How can you heal this, please? Pile one. The Five of Pentacles. How can we heal this is leaving things behind and giving it no more attention. Moving forward. And what else? Yep, totally ending. You know what? Maybe you need to even like do a ceremony, you know, cutting cords, I heard, but also just a ceremony of honoring the past. It's like, well, I learned lessons, but I see major transformation and then going back to an era of like innocence and integrating your shadow side, because this has become part of your shadow, overprotectiveness about self, with that wound and things like that, and a major transformation. Now, I'd like to look a little bit more about how you hindered your growth here. How did you hinder your healing, or how are you hindering your healing? And I'd like 2 cards on that because knowledge is power. Show me what I need to see for pile one. If this reading resonates with you, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we have the Empress. And we have the Sun. Yes. Can you hinder it? Absolutely. Are you hindering it? Yes. And how you're hindering progress or healing is by always saying perhaps yes. It could be yes to the past, or entertaining more thoughts about the whole situation instead of moving forward. How are you hindering the situation is kind of like sitting lofty, I want to say, because usually the Empress, oh, that makes sense, is a creator. She's been all of the queens at different points in time. She even has a chick on her lap, this ostrich. Oh, it's a peacock. It's a peacock. Okay. But I'm going to say that you've undergone like a lot of different transformations, but always saying yes is not going to be helpful for you. Even this like iguana lizard creature is dressed impractically for the desert. There is no water, and yet you're wearing a bathing suit and the red shoes. Where the red shoes to me indicate there's no place like home. Click, click, you know, Dorothy. A little bit of that fantasy, wishing that things would just kind of disappear and change what is. So stop saying yes and stop being impractical. It would be the first 2 things, because thus far that's what is dragging you back into the non-healing. And then right here, I'm going to say is maybe giving in a lot to your creativity and not as much the practicality of things, which I resemble that remark. Okay. So how will healing this shape your future? Let's look at healing this for pile one. How's this going to shape your future? Healing is like an onion. We heal in layers, I believe. So how is this going to be shaping your future? What? Buttercup. Look at all the cats. You could have Leo in your chart strongly, but it doesn't have to be. But I feel like you are going to be a total badass. You are already. You're a mover and a shaker and a candlestick maker. And I think with the King of Wands, Queen of Wands, we don't read sex again. I think this is your spiritual aspirations, because he's sitting on a very purple chair right here. But the more that you head towards spirituality, lean on your spirituality, that is what's going to give you, I would say, like a bigger glow up. How your future is going to look is that you're going to be a lot more confident, maybe be able to buy more threads. It's going to affect your money. And how that's going to happen is that you'll be able to pursue whatever it is that you desire, like your aspirations, your desires and things like that, in such a manner that it'll produce money for you. I also am looking at the lighting back here. It's got that little old school starburst, almost like a pop effect. And I think that you're going to be able to mesh the new and different together in order to advance yourself, but also to express yourself. And I think that you'll be fierce about it. And I also think that this could provide many different fountains of income for you. So, yeah, I think that you are the one that's being resurrected, and you're having a major, major comeback. That was what the card said initially. So that's what I have for you. If you love this reading, let me know. And until next time, namaste. Hi, Paltu. My name is Grisel with Psychic MD. If you missed the intro, and you have selected death rights. Saying goodbye, formal occasion, and honoring lives. The healing after being ghosted. So I like to do a little energy check. This seemed a little ominous even for me. For those of you new to my channel, thank you so much for being here. And for those of you that are repeat offenders, thank you so much for your support. Energy check for pile number 1, please. With the death rights, the number 11. The devil. So this could be a Capricorn or something that you were obsessed about or are currently obsessed about. This wants to poke its head. With the Page of Wands. This could be a young person or somebody that had some fire in them or has some fire in them. The Two of Pentacles. It was somebody that you saw eye to eye with in a lot of ways. And in some ways, I feel like you and this person wore the same masks, okay? This almost gives me like lucha libre mask, but it's almost like you were cut from the same cloth. And I feel like for whatever reason, this person had to leave your life. And with the Knight of Swords. So you could be feeling like you were actually swallowing a sword. Almost like words are really difficult to speak. Or maybe you're having to eat your words on something that you're really sure about. And yet what transpired actually was something that you could have not have foreseen, okay? What happened here? I feel like in this situation there was a stalemate. There's a lot of twos right here. Twos to me talk about personal power. This could have been about juggling, trying to make things work, about taking care of 2 different things all at once and things oscillating. It's been very, very difficult. And even the Two of Swords right here is coming through with the death rights. And I feel like even now, I feel like for some of you guys, this could be actually somebody who left this world or is in the process of leaving. And I feel like for some of you guys, there could be some guilt about this, okay? I'm looking at the yellow right here, and it seems like I want to kind of grow beyond this, but it's really been painful. And that's why we're here. The Three of Pentacles, yeah. It's like you want to move on and to be able to allow things to grow and flourish. And there's a measure of guilt. With this Page of Wands, this could have been a younger person, or you could be a lot younger. But I feel like for most of you guys, this was a younger person that left your life, whether in the 3D or just left your life emotionally. We're going to look into this, okay? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to take the bottom of the deck too. I feel like there's been a lot of anxiety with this. Maybe even wanting to look at the book of knowledge, trying to make sense of things. I'm even looking at all of these things like going through the head of this one person right here. And it's almost like you're asking what was going through my mind when I made those decisions. And I feel like things turned out unexpectedly. For some of you guys, you could be blaming yourself for this person crossing over the 10 of Wands. It could be a huge, huge burden. And I feel like not a lot of people understand. And I feel like with this piece right here, almost like a tower, and then the village right here, it almost looks to me like you could be feeling like people thought, well, this was a great big game of chess that you were playing, or checkmate. Like the move that you made focused on your stability, and maybe it didn't really focus on a different person's stability. And maybe that's what I feel gossip around this. I feel like maybe you feel like there's gossip around this, or there's actual gossip. I don't like this. What is that? The 10 of Cups, family gossiping. You know, nobody has the right to do that. If you're the one making decisions, then you're the one making decisions. And really, yeah, I think things have been said here with the blue that is nobody's business but really yours in the end. And I feel like you're coming out of a fog. You could be struggling with a lot of brain fog. This could be actually a child, because I'm looking at this little creature. It does have a little tail. It could be like a preemie baby, or an infant, or a child. And I feel like even with the wings here, almost it's like she has, yeah, well, she is the angel of death in this deck right there. So it could be like other people are blaming you for the passing of this person, or a child, or a situation that did not have a chance to grow up, that kind of a thing, or you're blaming yourself. And with the 6 of Wands right here, I just happen to be shuffling and looking down. Bottom of the deck, I feel like 6 of Wands, this is exactly what it is. I feel like there could be some blame, but I feel like you're standing tall, and in some ways you do blame yourself, but dang it, you're not allowing people that are pointing fingers to, you know, and rightly so, point the finger and blame you, the world. Even though this person's like this, I saw this fox giving the finger, and it's like, you know what, I'm keeping my equilibrium, because in the end, all endings, I mean, I don't know to what level, you know, this could be somebody hooked up to life support having to make those kinds of decisions. This could be anything, an agreement to allow somebody to go to school overseas and then something catastrophic happens, or, you know, an agreement to allow someone to live with a family member, and there are dire consequences to that. But I feel like you have a heart of gold, and if anybody really truly knew you, that's really who you are. There was no malice intended here, and I don't know. I almost feel like there was like a wrongful passing of someone. I hope that makes sense. If this doesn't resonate, then this will not be your pile for sure. There has been an ending. And now I feel like you're kind of looking, there's a lot of green. So I'm glad to see that you are working or focusing on your heart chakra in spite of the turbulence there as well. And it's almost like, well, I kind of looked at all of my options and what could I do? Yeah, I made the best decision with the information that I had on hand. And I don't feel like you went out and, you know, directly unalived somebody. And I know family members could be really critical. My son one time was going on a slide in McDonald's of all places, and actually wound up having his arm broken going down that slide. And I was blamed for that by a family member. She actually said it was my fault. And my son wasn't with me at the time. So that threw me into a crisis. I mean, I was just kind of shocked. But when I confronted it later, this person had, denied ever saying that, which is really ironic. But it could be things like that, So let's look deeper. What wound is left behind? What wound is left behind, pile number 1? On the death rights here. Show me what I need to see for the wound that is left behind. The 10 of Pentacles. That's an interesting one. Well, this could be about a legacy. This is about an inheritance. What, in some ways, what have you inherited? And I don't think it has necessarily to do with money. It could have been something that, something was left behind, like home or money or assets or whatever the case may be. We'll have to look at this a little bit more. What wound is left behind, please? Because I feel like you have, in spite of, a lot of people that are loyal to you. It could be family, but not of choice. Something within. This is Death card. And look, she's pregnant here. I feel like this is a loss of a child. Wow. That's heavy. Whew. It's almost that, like, this is leaving you seeking a higher illumination on what transpired. Like, why did this have to, quote, run its course? Or why did this person have to pass away, cross over? If this isn't actually your child, then it could be someone that you viewed as a child in that way. Or you can, flip the roles. It just depends on, everybody's going to be different. This is only general. What wound has this left behind, please? Healing after being ghosted. The Chariot. Maybe having a need not to keep moving, not to be able to stay still, not to want to get still enough to have to think about things. Yeah, because it almost seems like in the stillness there's a face in here with the Travel card, and then a face of constantly being pursued. It's almost like your thoughts can overtake you. And I'm hearing for some, this could be somebody like with a mental illness, or because here this is gray and this is totally different color. It's like the land of living and the land of the dead, and kind of crossing over. And it seems like you just kind of want to run. You want to do. You're not taking a moment to breathe or process. There's not a lot of processing going on. So you're not processing this wound. I mean, who can blame you? Oof. The moon. Okay, I feel really emotional. Pile number 2. I feel like this has caused you to really look a lot at yourself in the mirror, and that's why you're in running mode, kind of like, let me take care of this, let me do that. There are so many things to take care of that you don't want to really slow down, but when you do, and you get that moment of stillness and look at yourself in the mirror, you question everything. What exactly is my makeup? What am I built? Who am I? I'm hearing, what kind of a person could have done this? And I don't feel like, for most of you guys, this was an intentional thing. Some of you guys it could have, and it's almost like you don't want to take stock of looking in the mirror or having that self-reflection. There might be some denial about that pause to look, or the need to look, and I think that your time is fueled and filled with being busy, because things need to be done, quote unquote, and yet the truth of the matter is you're also busy because you're trying to run away, and that's definitely a wound. How can you heal this? Pile number 2. If this is your story, my heart goes out to you. There's nothing I can say about the loss like this. How can you heal this? For pile 2, please. It's taking a chance, taking a risk, and traveling light. Laying down your burdens of self-judgment, other people judging you. Easier said than done. Absolutely. The 4 of Wands. The Ace of Cups. and the Death card. The Four of Wands is about home and hearth. This also looks like a chess piece almost, right? And it's almost like offering more time and energy into your own home, into your own foundation, on what makes you feel stable. I feel like you need time to heal. Even these look like teardrops coming from this. Maybe you haven't had time to really process and cry this out, but there's more to be had there. Honoring those tears and allowing that to work its magic and heal. I'm hearing that some of you guys feel like the tears will never stop if you allow them to come. And I feel that way as well. And I feel like you're like, almost like, oh gosh, almost like with every kindness, it's almost like this bird is bringing a pearl to you. And with all the kindness, that is going to kind of be what unleashes the emotion. It's almost like too much to bear, the kindness of people around you at this point in time. And this is a major transformation for you. How will healing this shape your future? Pile number 2, if you're still with me. Big love, big hug. How can healing this shape your future, please? Pile 2. I feel like having the Two of Swords, I feel like this alludes to people that cause you turmoil, that cause you to really want to protect your heart, and you finally saying, you know what, that's enough. Even the Justice card looks like she is a Queen of Swords here. And it's like, you know what, I'm going to cut off everything that is maybe accusing me of not, I hear being a better parent, or, you know, even parts of you that blame yourself, or being a better person, whatever the case may be. You're going to cut off whatever is causing that emotion within you. And the scales of justice is providing balance. This is going to help provide balance into your life. People that are pointing fingers, I mean, obviously I don't know the situation, and keep in mind, this is not a personal reading. If you need that, there'll be, you know, information in the comment box below. What is this Justice card, please? On the Ten of Swords. People that are speaking badly about you, maybe even behind your back, and you know it, like your intuition will tell you. But also, it's like we can't, you know, help what people say about us. And in the end, it's not our business. But we also don't need to allow them in our personal space. I mean, if you get that feeling, then it's there for something. And why do we need to be a 3D person when we're really spirit-based and need confirmation on why we don't like Gelda or Nelda next to us? The wicked stepsisters I just named. I don't know. What is going on here? Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. There'll be a change in your communication. This is 8 of Wands, not communicating with people like that. The 7 of Cups reverse. This is making a choice. Okay. Making a choice on not communicating with some people that cause you upheaval. The 3 of Pentacles, you're not going to participate in your own persecution any longer, and good for you. You're not going to be a part of the cog to that wheel. No, sir, you're not. The 9 of Cups reverses, you're not going to give people that satisfaction of participating when you're already trying to endure and work through your own emotions about things. So you're taking away that victory. I feel like people just kind of get some kind of emotional perverted gratification from this, and you're not accepting that anymore. 8 of Pentacles, you're not working with this energy any longer. You are indeed cutting it out. The Emperor, with their energy of it's my way or the highway, you're just not doing it. Okay. And with the High Priestess reversed, I feel like that one I need some more information, because the High Priestess, oh, you know what? It's the secrets. It's the secrets that are being uncovered. And I feel like you're just like, you know what, balls to the wall. Sorry for my French here, but it is what it is, and you're going to allow the chips fall where they may, whatever people think, or you know, you're not trying to save people's feelings any longer. They never spared yours. Keep that in mind. that for me is a very powerful healing. Number 1818 on my camera. That is what I have for you. Much, much love to you. Pile number 2. Namaste. Hi, pile number 3. My name is Griselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do another pick a card reading. Pile number 3, you chose Nightmare with the number 5. Psychic protection, shield, and bad dreams. Pile number 3, if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And if you're a repeat offender, thank you so much for your support. First thing I want to say, pile number 3, is that you might be in what we call the villain era. Because I feel like in some ways you could be the one that ghosted or left a situation, however you prefer to call it. But let's get an energy check on your situation. Pile number 3, show me a little bit about pile number 3. What transpired here? Your situation. Judgment. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Let's get 2 more. Pile 3. The Emperor. And Temperance. So we can get that centered here. My other cards out of the way. They're kind of hard to see. Okay. Pile number 3, I'm going to say that with psychic protection here, I almost feel like you are the one that left a situation. That there's a need to really take into account what you needed more than what anyone else needed. I feel like the protection that you needed was above and beyond what people would have thought. You could have moved away from a situation like the Emperor, my way or the highway. I know what's good. Don't question me. Do as I say. This is how things have always been done. This is our tradition. While the flowers wilt right here, I feel like you've felt your spirit wilting in many, many ways. Okay. With the Judgment, you made an assessment and a judgment that your spirit was indeed wilting, that things were not really meant for you, that you didn't feel like things were balanced, that they were fair. Even here, there appears to be almost like an energy of the collective accepts. So this could be, again, family, friends, whatever the case may be. Birds of a feather, we all wear black. On Wednesdays, we wear black for the mean girls, right? But I feel like there's an energy here of you have to fit the mold. You have to fit in. This is how it's always been done, again. And I feel like you left, or the situation left you, because this was extremely out of balance. This was not something that you felt at all. And falling in line didn't make you feel anything but, I heard, disturbed. It made you feel like you couldn't connect, that you weren't balanced. I felt like this is saying right here that you were disengaged. Yeah, that calling just didn't ring true to you. I feel like falling in line with something that didn't make sense to you at all for the sacred tradition. You made a judgment against it. You're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. And I feel like you mounted your white horse and took off. I feel like even the horse is screaming out for freedom. It's like, it's got to be actually my way. It doesn't have to be your way, the highway. And if that's how it has to be, then I choose highway. Highway for me. So with the number 5, you could have had a lot of different changes. You could have changed things suddenly, or you could be viewed as somebody who is constantly changing things suddenly, all right? Almost like people, there could be talk here about you making an emotional decision. Yeah, look with the Tower. We're going to take the bottom of the deck right here. And it almost appears like people are thinking, okay, well, the shadow side of this person decided to leave the situation or not conform or whatever the case may be. And then pretty soon they'll get into the 3D body and realize, oh my goodness, the reality, the mistake I made, and things will change back and I will actually fall in line, but that's not what's happening. So even the sky here is crumbling, and I feel like this is almost like the Truman Show, where you've made a judgment and you have left, but people think, well, this person must be out of their mind, or how dare they reject tradition, or how dare they not, respect what I say or do as I say, or how dare they not conform when they've always conformed to begin with. And I feel like there's an expectation here of, okay, well, this person's going to wake up and see the error of their ways, or they're going to, come around and beg for forgiveness, that kind of a thing. And yet, I feel like this creature, I forget what it's called, but, that's just the way their eyes look. And I feel like there is no going back, because there's nothing to go back to with all this darkness right here. The blue skies were really in this emperor's mind of like, this is what your utopia looks like. This is what your good life looks like. As long as everybody repeated things that weren't even true, that you were happy, and that was blue skies to you. And so I felt like you left the toxic situation, and then living that began and commenced the crumbling of like maybe an empire or a legacy. Okay. 7 of Swords. Yep. I feel like you or someone dipped here and did things on their own. Hope, reflection, reflects on what? And this has to do something about a lot of communication back and forth. Yeah, so I feel like there was initially just communication back and forth, like maybe this stirred up a lot of emotion, like there's communication here about I'm not happy with the situation, or this isn't what I want, that kind of a thing. And it wasn't met with anything. It's just like the Truman Show. If you guys haven't seen it, it's worth a watch. It's one of the few that I would watch a couple of times over and over. But follow your intuition. You need to really learn for yourself what it is that is a balanced life and a good life for you, what is healthy for you. And it's going to be really important, I feel like, if you, let down people or let down family or a group or whatever the case may be, just remember that, I almost feel like it's dealing with a narcissist. It's like repeating a lie that they have force fed, or that they, like everybody is supporting this lie, and it's a common lie, and you're done with it. And I feel like you've hidden yourself out just to do studies or self-reflection, or allow the divine to teach you and lead you in many ways, and that is the right answer for you. A lot of hidden knowledge here. This could have caused a lot of pain. These two skeletons, it's almost like they can kind of spin around and look similar. Okay. But this one skeleton's like stabbed in the back twice, and this one is like rendered. So this is like betrayal. This could be betraying the narrative of what family has always spoken about, or the image we always try to portray, that kind of a thing. And with and I think your voice somehow, some way, with all this blue right here, because to me that is the throat chakra, is really serving to destroy a lot of illusions. There's a man falling there. Okay, that's your energy check. So what wound is left behind? What wound is left behind for you? We're focused on you. Wow. Okay, the King of Wands. You could have a connection to pile number 2. Is it pile number 2? Pile number 1, I think, but not necessarily. Okay, so the wound left behind, we're going to have to get some more information. What's the wound being left behind for pile 3? The Wheel of Fortune. Oh, okay. One more, please. I feel like the wound left behind is your glow up. your desire, oh, look at your loyalty to taking a leap, and your loyalty to taking a jump. And, even though you don't know what it looks like on the other side, for example, if this involves family or whatever, it's like you're not going to have that support or knowledge of what's happening. Not that I feel like you had a lot of support before, but this is almost stating that you're willing to take a leap, that things weren't, I want to say, that bad, that you are ready to take a leap and be loyal to yourself. Okay, interesting how that is viewed as a wound. I feel like this is more the wound that's left behind for the other people. But moving on, the Wheel of Fortune. So this tells me that you are having a glow up, that things are looking pretty good for you. Finances, your direction in life. I feel like you are pursuing things. You're looking good, smelling good, the whole nines, right? Even with this like little compass right here, again, I feel like something with your voice. You could be a singer. You could be a speaker. I don't know. What else? Anything that has to do with your voice, okay? You could be taking on causes. And this is a wound for other people. So I feel like it's the wound that's left behind is for others. How can you heal this? How can you heal this? How can you heal these wounds left behind, please? Which is really weird because I don't feel like it's your responsibility to heal. The Queen of Cups. This is my psychic card, and we're talking about psychic protection. Yeah, continue speaking your truth, continue offering love, and continue being where it is that you feel at home, where you feel honored. Even with all this green, I feel like there's a lot of reflection about your heart chakra and things like that, and how your healing is. As you heal yourself, others in turn will be healed. And in some ways this could be by you, by like what you're saying, what you're speaking, doing things on your own, not allowing people to be privy of what it is that you are doing or how you're headed or how you're doing things. And essentially you could just be moving under the cover of darkness. Why? Because psychic protection, shield, and bad dreams. So it could be that you just really need to focus on you because people are sending you maybe the evil eye. Maybe you're escaping a really bad situation that just wasn't healthy for you, which is the vibe I'm getting all along. Or, that people can come your way to try to disrupt, and we definitely don't need that. Yep. So how you can heal it is continue with your defenses, continue with doing what it is that gives you balance, what allows you to function in a way that is healthy and hopeful for you. Continue doing those things because that in turn will actually, in the long run, heal this situation. We are not responsible for healing others. Each one must take their own journey of healing upon themselves. Blaming other people for your emotional state is not going to help either. So accepting responsibility in that and just offering, again, your cup of love with people that are willing to offer it back with maybe even I'm hearing a culture or a subculture. Yeah. So this could be a community that you feel drawn to. And, the lotus right here, this beautiful bloom, that has to grow through mud. It won't grow through anything else. And so I feel like maybe you're grouping up with a bunch of people, a community that has been through a lot, and therefore they understand. And that support seems to be offered through like the clouds. It comes from out of nowhere, or this is a dream that you have that's fully attainable. And this is totally how you can heal this as well, is continue focusing on your healing, continue helping others to heal if you're able to or so inclined. But simply by being you and healing you is a way that you inspire and heal other people. Now, bottom of the deck, I have the High Priestess right here. Didn't pull it on camera, but it was peeping through. And I feel like you have a lot of knowledge to be able to give to other people, a lot of wisdom. I feel like you've seen a lot of different phases in life. You may seem like your soul, like an old soul. People can say, wow, you're an old soul. But this reminds me of the, was it a princess or that tried to escape from another country, and she told her best friend, who was, I think, a reporter or something like that, and they wound up on a yacht, and she finally got away from these people that would not allow her to have a life, that were incredibly abusive. And from the yacht, she thought she was safe and sent a text to, I think, a mom or a sister that says that she's here and she's okay, and they wound up, almost like a pirate ship came and took her off of the boat, and she has since disappeared. No one's heard from her. So this could be a situation like that. I feel like you have a story that could be written or tightly under wraps or something to that effect. Maybe you're a writer, yeah. And this could help heal a lot of people. And it may be hard for you to see that currently, because it's like, well, I don't understand that, or how would I go about that? But there's a lot of healing to be had right here. Yes. And this, by the way, would be really good for your fortune. Not that we're, talking money or whatever all the time, but we need, a paycheck to sustain ourselves. We need to be part of the working community to be able to live. We need to be sustainable. And I feel like you're going to do that through your heart chakra. The more that you heal your heart chakra, the more grounded you'll be. The more grounded that you are, the more you'll speak with freedom, with abandon, with authenticity. Yeah, with lack of fear, I'm going to say. And in turn, you have the Hierophant right here. So this is about commitment to Source, commitment to your connection to Source, which is really a big deal. I feel like you'll be given the keys, if you don't already have them, to really help heal the situation. So focus on you. Again, the biggest thing is focus on your connection with Spirit, and the rest will work itself out. You don't have to see it or have it be a logical chain of events for it to really manifest the way that you would like, which is healing for everybody. But it is definitely there for you. So, how have you hindered? Did we cover that? How have you hindered the Two of Swords? By not wanting to make a decision. By not speaking your truth. By being in your head. These are all the ways that you've hindered healing. Ooh, that sounds like me. What else? Queen of Wands. Again, I feel like taking steps to correct this. She's almost like within her throne. There's a cat right there. It's like the keeper of great mysteries, right? Take a chance and speak your truth. Travel lightly. Don't expect much. Just do what you think is the best thing to do. Don't pin your hopes on outcomes. Allow time and Spirit to do the rest. That's going to be the best advice for you. And above all, psychic protection. Making sure that you shield your room, your home, your bed, all of it. Listen to your intuition. Okay? This is my psychic card. Why would you need psychic protection if you're not psychic? Also, why would you need psychic protection if you're not being attacked? Again, this could be the evil eye. This could be somebody who is salty, who has paid other people to do mfufu. Basically, to do like a ritual or something on you in order to disturb your sleep, your rest, or disturb you, period. And this is somebody committed to darkness, okay? That in no way, shape, or form is going to help them to evolve or to grow or to benefit. That feels more like control. And the way that you could just really continue growing is to focus on yourself and focus on the freedom. And even this horse has like, it's almost like a ball of fire in their mouth. She almost looks mad even. So yeah, make sure that you have great defenses, protect your computer, protect your accounts, set intention when you go to bed, and develop some psychic protection rituals that will help you. And that's what I have for you, pile number 3. Much love to you. Until next time, namaste.